The relationship between the United States and China, as the world's two largest economies and geopolitical powers, remains a critical focal point in global affairs. Recent news from July highlights a complex interplay of trade negotiations, technological rivalry, and geopolitical tensions, shaped by the policies of the Trump administration and China's strategic responses. This analysis explores these developments, drawing on recent reports to provide a detailed analysis of the current state of USA-China relations. Trade has been a central pillar of USA-China relations, and recent developments indicate both progress and ongoing challenges. In late June, the two nations signed a trade agreement aimed at de-escalating tensions, particularly around critical minerals and rare earths essential for manufacturing and microchip production. This agreement, confirmed by both the U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and China's Commerce Ministry, allows American firms easier access to these resources, while the U.S. lifted some restrictive measures on China-bound exports, such as chip design software and jet engines. However, details of the agreement remain sparse, and major issues, including unfair trade practices and the U.S. trade deficit with China, $262 billion in 2024, persist unresolved. The fragility of this truce is evident as President Donald Trump has continued to push aggressive tariff policies. On July 8th, China warned against reinstating tariffs, threatening retaliation if the U.S. disrupts the hard-won consensus. Trump's administration has set an August 1st deadline for trade partners to negotiate deals, with China facing potential tariffs exceeding 100% if no further agreement is reached by August 12th. This deadline has heightened uncertainty, with traders and investors closely monitoring whether this truce will hold or unravel into renewed trade hostilities. Additionally, Trump's broader tariff strategy, including a proposed 50% tariff on copper imports effective August 1st, could impact China's exports, though specifics remain unclear. The U.S. has also accused China of unfairly subsidizing its tech sector and engaging in technology theft, issues that remain unresolved despite recent talks. These tensions underscore the delicate balance between cooperation and confrontation in USA-China trade relations. Technological competition continues to be a flashpoint in USA-China relations. China has made significant strides in advanced technologies, particularly in humanoid robotics, where it now hosts over half of the world's publicly traded firms in the sector, according to Morgan Stanley. This dominance has raised concerns in the U.S., particularly as American drone companies and the military lag behind China in technological advancements, as demonstrated by a recent test in Alaska. The U.S. has responded with measures to curb China's technological ascendancy. For instance, the Trump administration has restricted the sale of engines to China's COMAC, delaying its aeronautical ambitions to compete with Boeing and Airbus. Similarly, a ban on NVIDIA's chip sales to China and pressure on Apple to manufacture in the U.S. reflect efforts to limit China's access to critical technologies. Conversely, China has been accused of evading U.S. export restrictions through transshipment of critical minerals like antimony via countries such as Thailand and Mexico. China's Commerce Ministry has vowed to crack down on such practices, citing national security concerns. These actions highlight the ongoing technological chess game, with both nations seeking to protect their strategic interests. Posts on X reflect polarized sentiments on this issue. Some claim the U.S. is a decade behind China in technology, while others argue that the U.S. is strategically positioning itself to maintain dominance through sanctions and restrictions. These perspectives, while inconclusive, underscore the intensity of the technological rivalry. Beyond trade and technology, geopolitical issues continue to strain USA-China relations. The Taiwan issue remains a central point of contention, with some analysts suggesting that the U.S. is attempting to draw China into a protracted proxy conflict. The Trump administration's warnings against China replicating U.S. hypersonic missile technology further escalate military tensions. China's influence in global affairs is also a point of friction. For example, China's insistence on having a say in selecting the Tibetan spiritual leader has drawn criticism from the U.S. and other Western nations. Additionally, China's growing economic ties with ASEAN countries, including a pact to upgrade free trade areas, signal its efforts to counterbalance U.S. influence in Asia.